guys, this video is on the KV1C and T14 heavy tanks in War Thunder. Hope you enjoy. Hey guys, today we'll be playing a 4.7 Germany lineup, showcasing quite a few tanks. Junior UP will be using USA, because in the recent update, we've been able to do this. So, first off, the Sturm Emil here, it got recently moved down from 5.0 to 4.7 battle rating, and it has a 128mm gun with over 240mm of penetration. This is the same gun that's on the mouse, and so it's really overkill at 4.7. And, well, obviously it'll penetrate anything that you might want to shoot at, but it also has absolutely no armor. 30mm is not enough to protect from just about anything. You can't get 50 cal at least, but other than that, it's pretty vulnerable, and also really slow. So, for my plane, I like to take out fighters because I don't use bombers very much in general, and I recently got the FW190A5, which is a 4.7 with 4 20mm cannons, 2 MG151s, and 2 MG-FFs, and in general, like, just as a plane, it's really, really fun to use. So, anti-air purposes and anti-tank sometimes, horrible wind. For all-around medium tank, we've got the Panzer IV-H with a really good gun. Decent armor for 4.0, but at 4.7 and in up tiers, it's going to suffer a little bit. And I know I could be using the 4.7 Jagdpanzer IV, but I like the 38T a lot better. It's just more fun for me. It's got a 60-degree sloped armor, which is very fun. And it'll bounce a lot of stuff. So the main showcase here is going to be the KV1C 756 Premium. It's got a German gun, which is really good. Turret is almost impenetrable by Shermans, and it's got lots of different armor pieces, so it'll block a lot thanks to volumetric.
Okay, so this is my lineup, and I use rank 2 vehicles just because I had a wager going and I didn't want to tatter the wager. So, yeah, here it is. The F6F5 is my aircraft of choice. It's got 2 bombs and 6 HVAR rockets, and it's also got 650 cals with a whole bunch of ammo. And then I've got the M10. This is my cannon of choice for, well, at 3.7 for up tiers, but this is 5.7. It's got 150 millimeters of pen, which isn't horrible. Then I have my T14. This is my armor choice. It's got It's got a 51 millimeter plate angled at 60 degrees, but weak turret cheeks. The Sherman, this is my all-around tank. It's good at everything, great at nothing. It's got add-on armor and stabilized 75. This is my backup medium. This is the castle version with it's a little bit worse. And this is my best vehicle, the M4A5 Ram 2. It's got 170 millimeters of front armor and overlapping armor on the turret. So Germans really struggle with this tank. And it has 122 millimeters of pen with a 4.5 second reload, so it's certainly very good for its battle rating.
Alright, so we've got Second Battle of El Alamein. It's a battle map, so this one might last a little bit longer. And unfortunately we can't hide the recording bar at the top, but the good thing is that Gaijin lets you go back through your matches. Like, it records all of them, and you can go back and look at a match, see what you did wrong, see how an enemy saw you, where they shot you, and all kinds of stuff. You can also change the speed, as well as quite a few other things. You can also see where everyone was on the map at any time. So we were playing realistic at the time, so we weren't seeing all of these enemies. But another thing is that you don't see where people are improving. So with the mouse look activation, the default key is C, and then you look around with the mouse, you don't get to see that we're looking around doing other stuff as well, trying to figure out where enemies are. But we're driving here because I kind of suggested that we go over here because it's a decent spot. I mean, you get to see all these enemies going through this little area, and also if you get up on the hill, you can start sniping into their spawn. So we're just making sure that there was nobody there. And Junior is trying to angle his T14 here so that we can get up the hill, and even if somebody comes up behind him, hopefully we'll be able to not lose our tank. So T-34-85 comes out of nowhere, and yeah, so now we gotta be careful. Junior just got his track shot out, so I have to go back down and help him, because now he's got a 30-second repair. And yeah, T-34 is off the grid. So there's also cheated shooting at GDP. So I'm still trying to back up and shoot the cheater. He's also backing. So I'm just going to try to help Junior repair here so we can get out of here. This 30-second repair is not. So I'm just going to keep this cheating here at bay while we wait. And yeah, apparently he's repairing too. Probably his gun barrel or something. But since I have such a slow turret traverse, I'm just going to keep my turret behind me, and Geneva's going to watch in front of me. So we're going to try to climb up this hill and start shooting towards the beat. And our issue here might be if somebody decides to follow us, or if we forget that there's somebody behind us. So I have no gun immersion here, because Russia, but we're trying to get up this hill without dying. So T14, Julian, Virginia being and yeah, just got shot from behind. So the T-34-57 here decided that he did not like I was heading up this hill, so him and there's also a Chinu back there. Junior is trying to come find him, and of course the T-34 is right there, so he just died. And then this Chinu, he's right here, but he's getting stuck in rocks because heavy tanks. This Chinu is not paying attention, so yeah, got back. Right. So now Junior is going to try to head up back this hill. I'm respawned in the Penta-4H here, but this is this part. So right now the enemy is starting to push us back into our spawn, and we're having some issues. Juniupi's the only one that's been able to break out. So, yeah, we're having problems. So most of the enemies are like behind him now, since he's already way out ahead near B. But yeah, I'm getting strafed here, so this might be an issue. I only have so many FPs, so I just got stopped driving from our spawn, of course, and now I have three crew members left, and got set on fire again. Lovely. Hopefully he doesn't strafe me again. But now I've got an extremely lengthy repair ahead of me, probably around 45-50 seconds. So, Juniupi's now on the hill looking at their spawn, and so there's an R3 coming through, because, you know, why not? And 50 cals. So, obviously, 50 cals are the main gun, most American tanks now, since their guns at higher battle ratings, like the 75mm and the 76mm, are not very useful compared to contemporary Germans. So this Challenger came out, and yeah, he did not last because he obviously wasn't paying attention, but I mean, at least he wasn't. Non-penetration on a Cheeto, so that's lovely. Yeah, apparently a Cheeto's breach is unable to be penetrated by a German 75mm, even though most of the armor is pretty paper thin. So another Cheeto here. Juniupi managed to one-shot him next to the breach, but I don't know. So they're trying to drive out here. He's already near B, which is good, but the rest of us are getting spawn camped. I'm up in the air, but we're having issues as a team. So I'm just trying to see if I can shoot anything that's open top and wait for a plane to come up. The reason we featured more planes in the intro is that we didn't really get to showcase them a lot in our match here. So coming back up, there was a Livkov, I think, Swedish anti-air, shooting at me. So I was trying to stay away from him, and I saw that ZSU-37 there. So perfect open top target. He wasn't paying attention. And Amorite. Okay, so we're gonna pull out. I'm trying to cover Juniupi here since he's the only one that's been able to push out. So right now, as soon as I get far enough away, I'm gonna turn up and then come back down and see if I can get any more open tops. Unfortunately, with the mouse look activation being deactivated for whatever reason in recording, you don't see exactly where I'm looking at. That G55 behind me is, he's up there. I didn't see him at the time, but none of it matters. I got shot down by anti-air. So pancaked right into the ground. So Juniupi's sitting at 3 kills, so am I, but I've got 3 deaths as well. So there's a Soki trying to push him out right now, but he can't really get penetrated by a Soki from the front. And then there's a T-34-57 also driving out to try to help the Soki. And so, yeah, shot right in the weak spot on the T-34. That Soki is behind a rock, so can't be shot at right now. Plane just crashed into him, and yeah, too big of a bomb. Alright, so time to respawn in a Warble since there's so many planes up. Try to shoot that Silicedia down, but didn't succeed. So right now I'm just trying to cover Juniupi since he's in an M10. He's got, like, he has no roof armor, so that's a problem, obviously. So I'm trying to get this G55 to die already. Got him. At least part of his wing. But he got both of my tracks. Fortunately, he didn't knock out any of my crew, but now I can't help Juniupi out with this Lovkov that is, he got his breach knocked out, so he's trying to back up now. And now he's scouted, although at the time we didn't know that. But, so now both of us have a pretty long repair time ahead of us. Finally finished with my tracks, but as you can see, Junupi has a 45-second repair life with him. So I'm going to come up and help repair him, and hopefully keep him covered from the air. There's still that lift cove in our spawn. There's a key 61 up, and again, because of the mouse look, and also you can't see the scope look, you can't see exactly where I'm shooting at, but I'm trying to look for the key 61 right now, and he stands no chance against me, because Wirbelwind is overpowered. At 3.7, it's got 420mm cannons that fire extremely quickly and just shred just about anything you can see. It's really fun though when you're using it, but at the same time, hopefully you never have to face it, because that is a problem. Especially in Shermans, because they can penetrate your side armor really easily. So there's a clip good there. And yeah, Wirbelwind is now a tank destroyer as well. Autocannons equals mayhem, especially with the HVAP rounds, because those things can penetrate, again, the sides of Shermans and just about any tank. I mean, not so any tank with less than 60mm of armor is in trouble. Either if it's from the front or from the side. So also, if you're in a mixed match, you can face lots of Panzer IVs that don't have the side armor to stand up to you, or even the front armor sometimes. So I didn't see that Achilles there until the last second. Fortunately, Junupi had me covered, but I apparently lost some ammunition and didn't die. But now I'm a human shield for Junupi here. I lost all my gun crew except for my gunner and my barrels and the turret traverse is out, so I can't do anything against that Firefly that's shooting at me. Junupi saw him. I've got a 48-second repair ahead of me, but the Firefly is backing up because of Junupi, and now I got my turret traverse back. So with a Wirbelwind, and I don't know if this is true of all anti-air, but you can sometimes shoot even if most of your breaches are out, because I don't know why, even if they're black. But Junupi, even though he covered for me, he couldn't get out of the way in time. And then there's a cliff cove there too, so. Alright, so this is Junupi's all-around probably favorite premium tank. It's a Canadian Sherman with lots of extra armor. And unfortunately, so we're driving out now. Unfortunately, it does have a few weak spots, but other than that, it's got a better gun than most Shermans, and obviously not very much side armor. That NATO just killed him, so I was still driving to. I didn't see him until right afterward because it took me a while to realize that it was actually a tank, but I took out his breach and all of his gun crew, so that's good. So now we're just gonna have to wait to repair my transmission again. But there's 4 people camping our spawn right now. 22nd repair again. So he's in a backup. He's in a backup now. But managed to knock out that guy's breach, which is good. So now we're all just both of us are just firing like crazy. And Firefly managed to get killed at least by Junupi. Then we both fired at that cliff cove there. In the end, I don't know who took the kill there. I think Junupi, but it doesn't matter. Since we're so close together, of course, we got bombed. So, squad bomb. That was a pretty short fuse though. I was a little bit surprised, but oh well. That NATO's still there. His breach is probably repaired by now. Junupi's in an M4 now, M4 Sherman. So this tank is okay at everything. It's not the best at anything either. It's got a gun. It's got a 50 cal at least. Semi-decent frontal armor. It's fast-ish. And it's got decent roof armor, which is good. I took up the slow Stuart Emil here. So, while Juniupi's busy trying to get rid of that Nato, I'm trying to come around and flank him. But it's taking me ages just to get behind him. And of course, now I'm getting strafed by aircraft. And somehow I over-penetrated the Nato and only killed its track, which is fun. So Juniupi, while he was waiting, just decided to 50 cal an aircraft there. I mean, it's a biplane, so not that difficult. But finally, I managed to over-penetrate him enough that I killed enough of his crew. Unfortunately, that cost me probably 30 seconds between the shot, the the reload, and everything else. And then I saw this 7546, and I was like, what are you doing? Because he was supposed to be on the cap. At least he should have been. But right after that, I got my breach taken out, so having issues. That Sav's breach is now out, thanks to Juniupi, and now he's dead. So at least he shot first, because that Sav specifically, it shoots heat, which is with 240 millimeters of penetration. So it can essentially go through the upper front plate of the Tiger II, which at 3.0 is also overkill. At least he didn't hit me though, or else I would have been hull broken. So now, well, they were on it for quite a while, as you can see, but I had to repair my breach since he got strafed. Let's see, a third time? Yeah, that's the really annoying thing about open top vehicles, just in general. So my breach got knocked out, and I have like a 30-second repair. So we have to watch the cap now because there's only 3 of us left. I'm in my Stuart Emil, Juniupi's in his M4, and we have a Whirlwind as backup, which is not bad, but still, there's only 3 of us. So right now they're dropping artillery on us. I'm gonna try to go secure this side. My breach is fine to repair. So there's obviously I got marked on the map somehow, scouted probably, but I didn't realize that at the time. So we're walking out here, gonna see what we can do. So there's a Chaffee right there, and I kind of see him, but not really easily. And I'm also seeing 50 cals from the right, so I don't want to push any further. But yeah, there's nothing doing against an R3 from the side, especially in an open top vehicle like that. So we're back with Juniupi here, who's also scouted now. Didn't know that at the time. So he sees the R3 here, but there's a much bigger threat with the Chaffee there. He bounced him, so that's good at least. I killed a Firefly with my respawn here. So we've got the rush that they're doing here right now. We've mostly got it under control. So R3 just got completely destroyed there with minimal damage, and we countered that push pretty well. So right now we're actually ahead of them in points because they've lost more vehicles than us. So I just knocked out a 5.0 Puvkov there. This is the one that can fire APDS, I believe, and a much more modern version of the previous 2. So now we're gonna try to go to that same spot that we tried to do earlier, but now there's definitely less people left, so that's much better. So we're not gonna be facing everybody trying to rush each other's spawn. So we're gonna drive out here. Juniupi's gonna meet me. He's going through the other side of the rock to make sure that there's nobody over there, so that we don't miss anyone in our sweep. There's only a few people left again, but it's still imperative that we don't lose our point. So at this point in the game, we're just more worried about keeping our lead the whole time, so we don't want to die and we don't want to give away our cap. And we're less worried about capping their point, and we can actually just wait the game out because there's only a few minutes left, and if the enemy has to push if they want to do anything. So we're back at this rock again, but this time we took an alternate approach, and our strategy here is that we're going to try to turn off our engines so that we can hear other people coming. Because otherwise, between a Panzer IV-H and a Sherman, both with decently loud engines, I mean, it's nothing compared to a Japanese top-tier tank, but they're still really loud, and you can't hear nearly as well if you have a squad mate or even yourself nearby with your engine on. So we've just turned off our engines, try to be a little bit quieter here. We're kind of hearing somebody. He has to advance, obviously, but so we think he's coming from the road from B, and so I had to turn on my engine here because both of our turrets, they get charged thanks to a battery powered by the engine, and if the engine is turned off for long enough, the battery will run out, and then you have to manually turn the turret, so it's a lot more difficult. So if I have to keep my engine on to do that, I'll turn it on every once in a while just to make sure that it stays on and then turn it back on, or turn it back off. So from my perspective, you can definitely hear the person coming. That's a lot better. The Whirlwind is trying to back us up, I think, but I have no idea where the sound is coming from. I still have a little bit difficulty doing this. I haven't been playing for as long as Junior UP, so sometimes it's more difficult. But Junior UP saw that he was coming to my back, so I'm trying to turn my turret here so that I can make sure that we have ourselves covered from the back. Junior UP's got the front anyways, so I'm just gonna wait here. So, as you guys can see, they're rounding the corner right now, and it's Povkov. So, yeah, everybody, all three of us just completely demolished him. Junior UP got his turret crew, the Whirlwind was pestering him, and then I just killed his driver and assistant driver, or machine gunner. So, now, there's only one guy left. That was the last spawn of the Swedish guy. So there's only one Brit left, I think, and hopefully we'll be finishing up this match soon. It's been pretty interesting to see it back and forth, considering, well, they were in our spawn, and we probably couldn't have done anything about it for a while. And if they had kept us there, they probably would have won the game pretty easily. I'm glad we pushed out, though. This has turned into a pretty decent game. So, now we've decided to try to go for B because we assumed that the last person standing would be protecting B. So, we're trying to get there, but we're near a spawn, and the Achilles that's left decides to shoot Junupi as soon as he walked into the crosshairs. So, I'm backing up here because I know I just have to wait him out. So Junupi is going to spawn into a plane here, so that even if I just sit there and make him wait, that way at least Junupi can get a bomb on him. So obviously the Achilles needs to make a move, and quickly, because the match is about to be over. The Whirlwind is headed towards the B cap to start capping it anyways, but the Achilles is trying to drive out here, and as soon as he does, I've got my crosshair trained right on him. So, fortunate ammo rack, but we did it. Good game. I think both of us ended up with 11 kills. 10 ground kills and 1 air kill each. So, that's pretty cool. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.